how to handle the exceptional statements using the try along with the multi-catch, and as well as how can I implement the concept of finally. What is the need of finally? I can share in this class. So the try, we already know that try in the last sessions discussed, try that keeps the statements which may generate the exception, and the catch, when the exception will be generated, that will be the control will be go to the uh, relevant exception handler. So it will verifies whether these exceptions will be handled by the sequentially, it will verified by the first catch block whether the exceptional handler have the capability to handle the exception. If it is yes, the statements belongs to these catch block will be executed. If these handler not able to identify, not able to handle the exception, then the control will check the second handler whether is it handles the exception. If it is yes, then the statements which are in the second block, that will be verified. The sequentially n number of exceptional handlers will be there. The control will be shifted to one by one. So whenever the relevant exception handler will be found, that the control will go to that block, and the code which is already there in that exceptional handler, that will be executed. If no exceptional handler is related to that exception, so immediately it will be, the program will be terminated and it will be handled by the JVM. Now we can discuss what's an example related to these try and catch blocks. I will go back to that NetBeans IDE. So here I will take a new class, Java class, with a multi-catch demo. Multi-catch demo. Fine. And here I am writing public static void main of string arg, and I would like to take three inputs from the user by declaring a scanner object. Scanner SOC equal to new scanner of system dot in, and to include the scanner we need to import a java.util.package, so automatically included. And now declare two variables int a equal to read the input system.out.println. Now enter a, and int a equal to soc dot next int method that reads, here scans the next token of the input as an int. Yes. And now I would like to take one more integer variable. Just I have copied the code and pasted int b, enter b, and perform a division operation. Okay. So all this code I can put it in a block call, or first I can execute the program, then I can keep it out dot println of c. So it tries, it may be chance of generating an exception called arithmetic exception, already we discussed. And what's more, variable I want to take string s equal to, I would like to read string also, next, And now, why this string? I want to use a variable in conversion equal to. This is an example to convert. So if we are taking to convert the given string into a radix, so conversions to convert the given acceptable input string input into based on specifying the radix, it will be converted into an integer. Suppose if I have specified two variables parse int of s comma int radix, which returns what is the type of these. If we are seeing this integer dot parseInt, what it indicates, so it will returns public static in parseInt, which takes the string and as well as radix. So based on these radix, the possible input will be returned into an integer. If the string is not in the proper format, proper acceptable input, then it will throw an exception called number format exception. So I am using yes comma. I would like to take in a radix as hexadecimal. So whatever the string, possible acceptable string I am giving here, it will be considered as a hexadecimal format. Radix is 16, and based on that, again the given hexadecimal string will be converted into an integer value. So I can also print system dot out dot println now conversion. Fine. And now here I am not at all using any try catch block, just I am writing the code only, read the two inputs and take one string and convert the string into integer format. Based on the, here I can write the comment convert string into integer based on radix. Now we can execute this. So what are the possible outputs will be there? I can take it. Enter A is 10. So if I am giving the B as 0, the possible exception will be, the program will be terminated here only. Arithmetic exception. And I can execute for the second input. Again I am taking, enter A 10, B 5, no problem. And it is waiting for another string input. I am giving AG. In the hexadecimal, we have up to 9 and after that A, B, C, D, E, F. But AG string is not yet acceptable. So it is generating an exception called number format exception. What the number format exception? Why? For input string AG, number format, so it will not be conversion. The conversion is not yet possible. So it generates an exception called number format exception. And now, how to write? So all these statements I will be keep in a block, try block, and followed by catch, followed by catch. So what are the possible exceptions? Arithmetic exception, arithmetic exception E, and here I can write it as a of don't enter 0, and I am writing one more catch block. What is this? It will be not an arithmetic, it will be comes as a number format exception. What I need to give here, I would like to give the acceptable string input. Okay. So two exceptions I have written. One is arithmetic exception and the second one is number format. Now we can execute this. Again enter A, 10, B, 0. So the try block will be, other statements of try block will not be executed, but immediately the control will be go to the corresponding catch block. So it will be an arithmetic exception. So the try block is stopped. The control will be go to the arithmetic exception handler. So it will be what I have given here. The control will be stopped and the control will be go to the this statement. Okay. And now second type we can execute the same. Enter A, 10, B, 5, no problem. Okay, the result is 2 and it will be waiting for another input. I am giving AG. So what is the exception handler? Here give the acceptable string input. Here no arithmetic exception, but due to the wrong input, it is giving a suggestion catch, uh, which handler will be raised. So that will be second catch exception handler will be raised and it is generating a message called give the acceptable input string. Now again I can run without any errors. Enter A, yes, 5 will be there and the string also AB, yes, AB is an acceptable in the hexadecimal format. So it will be converted into an integer value called 171. Here no exception will be there. So if you have carefully observed the program, I can copy this code once. I will paste here. If we have carefully observed, if the exception is raised, the code which is in the try block, at which moment the exception is raised. Suppose if the exception is raised here, the control will be stopped here and the control will be moved to the catch block, corresponding catch block. Then this statement will be executed and this block will be skipped. And if the exception is raised in this statement, then this catch block is not relevant. So it will be go to the control will be go to the this one. If there will be no exception, then all the statements of the try block will be executed and catch blocks will be skipped. So if no exception, note, if no exception, all statements of try block executed and no catch block statements are, so no statements of catch block will be executed. This is case 1. In case 2, if exception is raised, then the try block then the remaining statements of try block will not be executed, only corresponding catch block statements are executed. And third one, if exception is raised and no corresponding exception handler, then defaultly it is handled by JVM and program will be terminated. So these are some possible cases I have explained here. When the exception is raised, what happened? The corresponding catch block is there. What happened? If there is no exception, if no exception, only try block statements will be executed and no catch block statements are executed. If exception is raised, immediately the try block statements will be stopped and only corresponding catch block will be executed. If exception is raised and no corresponding catch handler, then defaultly it will be handled by the JVM and program will be terminated. And now my requirement is, I have a requirement whether exception is raised or not, want to execute certain statements compulsory, then use finally block. Very important. In the interviews also it will be important. So what is my requirement? Whether the exception is raised or not, I would like to execute certain statement compulsory. Then we can use a block called finally block. How can I write? Try block followed by catch followed by finally. Try multiple blocks followed by the catch, or only try followed by catch also possible. Try followed by finally. Generally, what type of code we can put in the finally block? Free up resources. That means we can close the files, we can close the database connections before terminating or before closing. If I would like to free up certain resources, that code we can put in the finally. So the name itself indicates the finally block will be executed after try or catch. Whether try or catch will be executed or not, but whatever the statements will be there in the free, it will be compulsory finally will be executed. Now in the same program we can continue. I will clearly like to add finally, and I can add system dot out dot, and here I am writing I am always, but even certain cases finally also not executed. That will be some other way. I am always executed. Here also finally block syntax is finally open brace, closed brace, and write the statements. Run file. We can check all the possible inputs. First, proper test cases A10, B2, and C is AB. Yes, only try block statements. Here 10 I have given, 2, 5 will be result, AB 171, and only try block statements will be executed. No catch is executed, but finally block will be also executed. Finally must. And we can give the second case with an exceptions. Enter A10, enter B0. So immediately the try block statements are stopped and the arithmetic exception handler is executed, followed by finally. Have you observed 10, 0, arithmetic exception, related handler and finally. We can check also third input. Enter A 10, enter B 2 and the wrong input I am giving. Yes. Try block statements division will be performed but due to the wrong input which handler, that is the number format exception is raised, that handler will be executed followed by I am always executed finally block. So the conclusion is, so whether you want to execute try with the multi-catch statements, okay, and whether the try block or certain cases only try block statements are executed, in the certain cases only catch block, whether try executed or catch executed or not, I would like to execute certain statements compulsory, then we can put it in the final. Yes. The code written in the finally block must be executed whether exception is raised or not. The syntax is try multiple catches followed by the finally, or we can also write try along with the finally. So these are the examples, and today class we have seen two types of exceptions, that is arithmetic exception and the one more new number format exceptions with a new method parseInt with generally we can take only a single argument, but here the conversion parseInt with radix conversion also there. You can use the binary, you may use the octal, or you may use the decimal, or decimal anyway fine. We can use the hex also. And number format exceptions followed by the fine. And if you have any doubts, keep the comment. And thank you for one and all.